Hi everyone, it's David Trewern from Fliteboard. I'm out here on the board right now, and what I'm going to start doing is giving you some video updates. Every couple of weeks I'll jump on and tell you a bit about the product, answer any questions, so you can email us questions or post them on Facebook or on our YouTube channel, and I'll try and answer them here. So let me tell you a little bit about our product. We've been working on it for about 2.5 years. I had the idea for a powered hydrofoil about 3 years ago. I've been hydrofoiling on a kite with a kite and racing with a kite foil for about 4 or 5 years. And I was at a race event and there was no wind, and the water looked so inviting. It was just absolutely glassy. And I just thought, how amazing would it be to be able to zip around with an electric motor? It was so clear in my mind how what this experience that I'm having right now would be like. And I just thought everybody would want to do this. So the product consists of a full carbon board, as you can see down there. I'm on the Pro board, which is about 5 foot. A little bit tricky with the iPhone in the surf, but I'm doing okay. Yeah, so this board's about 5 foot, about 67 litres. We've got a larger board, which is the regular Fliteboard. It's about 100 litres, a bit easier to get going on and learn on, a lot easier actually. And then we've got our inflatable Fliteboard Air. We put a lot of effort into the board design to make the board as fluid and have the least resistance possible when you touch down off the water. And also, you know, we spent a lot of time getting the weight distribution and the volume distribution right. So you've got enough volume in the tail to be able to get planing early, but you've also got enough volume in the nose, you know, not to sink the nose too easily. We've made the board, you know, wide in the right spots so you can get planing, and narrow in the right spots so you don't touch a rail down when you're turning. So we put a lot of effort into that. And coming from a design background myself, you know, I've always been inspired by yacht design and car design. So then we've got our actual eFoil. We were working on our project and we saw that we had a competitor, and we were really keen to do something that was different and superior to that. So, you know, we put a huge amount of effort and passion into creating our unibody fuselage, where our motor sits inside the hydrofoil fuselage. And what that does is it reduces the drag, because we've got less wetted surface area. Instead of having 2 fuselages, we've got, you know, a fuselage and a motor. We've got one that does the job of both, so we've got less wetted surface area. It also puts the thrust in the motor further down in line with the wings, which makes for a much more stable ride. So we've got less sort of pitching moment when you put the power on and take the power off, and people really notice this. And that, combined with our, you know, fantastic wing design, that's been done by some great naval architects, including, you know, people that have worked on America's Cup foils and led America's Cup foil projects, means that we've got really fantastic stability. We've got 2 mast options. You know, a 75 centimetre mast is the longest mast option available in an eFoil, probably by, you know, quite a long margin. And we've got a 60 centimetre mast, which is similar to our competitors, maybe a little bit shorter, which is great for beginners and schools and things. It just creates a less intimidating experience. You know, you don't foil as high, and when you crash, you know, there's less chance of falling on the wing, because, you know, the board can't flip over as easily. The wings are under the water, and you've got less angle, you know, when you have a crash. Our flight box system is, we've patented that. It's absolutely fantastic design that we've developed with some of our engineering and design partners. And it just makes the whole process so simple, because the eFoil itself is self-contained. We've got the motor at one end, motor controller at the other. It's all sealed, the shortest possible wiring path, lightweight, and you just plug it into the board and away you go. So it means that the board has very minimal electronics. The only electronics in the board itself is the actual receiver and GPS unit, and that's an easy unit to replace. If there's ever a problem with it, a customer can replace that in about 5 minutes. And so it means that if there are problems with the electronic system and the drivetrain, you don't have to send the board back to us. You know, you can just send the eFoil unit back to us, and that's a huge advantage in that. And yeah, that's one of the great benefits of our flight box system. The other benefit is that we don't use water cooling tubes as others do, and part of our flight box design and patent is the fact that the flight box itself is our cooling. You know, it's a heat sink for the motor controller, as well as a sealing system for the electronics. And we do that by using an aluminium mast and an aluminium flange, which has very good performance and weight characteristics, because it's got to be hollow, so to run the wires down. So there's not a huge advantage in carbon fibre. If anything, carbon fibre is probably more likely to break in this sort of thickness and so forth. So that lack of water cooling tubes is another great advantage, because it means that there's no sand that can get stuck in the system to block it and overheat it, and it's just a lot simpler and cleaner, and without that kind of mess. So our eFoil's got incredible efficiency. We do use a gearbox in our system, and what that does is creates fantastic torque. It's a fixed reduction gearbox. Electric motors create their torque at high speed, and so by taking a high-speed electric motor and including a gearbox, we actually can access more torque more efficiently and easier by doing that. And that extra efficiency means that we're running at lower current, things are staying cooler, and the battery, which is the largest, heaviest, most expensive part of the whole product by a mile, can last a lot longer because of our efficiency. So I can ride like this, for about an hour and 20 minutes, maybe a little bit longer if I'm really concentrating on efficiency. And I can do about 30 kilometres. I'm 90 kilos, so an 80 kilo rider can probably do 35 kilometres, I'd say, or over 30 on a good day. So yeah, we've got fantastic efficiency. So then we've got our hand controller. Fantastic little unit, you can see it right here. Bit of multitasking going on. We've got a trip computer, which is a great benefit because it lets you know exactly, how far you can ride, how many minutes you can ride at the current speed you're at, and as you go faster and slower, you can see the impact of that on the battery. We're also logging all this data 5 times a second, and that will all be able to be downloaded via our app, and you'll be able to analyse that data, send diagnostic information to us, which is another huge advantage because we can use that data to further develop our products and make it more sophisticated. We can push out software updates to customers to enhance the product and make it, much more engaging. So what does the future look like? Well, this is version 1 and it's pretty awesome. So I think this is going to do the job for a lot of people for a long time. I think people are going to be blown away when they get out and ride this. I've been in water sports for my whole life. I learned to windsurf when I was about 10, surf and kite surf 20 years ago. This is a really fun, engaging thing. And it's great, if you don't want such a strenuous and high adrenaline activity, but you want to get out on the water. I used to go out kite surfing in 40 knots plus all the time. A little bit older, and I want a different experience now, and to be able to cruise around on a day like today, like this, and carve turns and ride waves without even getting wet, it's pretty awesome. And if you really want to amp it up and really push yourself, you can, and you can go fast enough to scare yourself pretty easily on the Fliteboard. I'm riding on about level 8 at the moment, and it goes to 20, so there's plenty of adrenaline there if you want it. And so in terms of the future, we can see racing developing. I mean, that's a super fun thing. We had our first ever eFoil race a couple of weeks ago, and we all had an absolute ball. Got a bit of training and practice to do. We think that would just be so much fun to develop that into a racing league, which we're keen to do. Waves, I'm out on the waves right now. I'm not riding waves because I've got my iPhone in my hand, but we're working on a wave kit. We're working on different wing designs. We're working on different electronics features that really, make the whole product a lot more engaging. In the same way that a Tesla is much more engaging than a regular petrol car because of its electronics. So, and then there's a lot of the innovation that we've developed that's got fantastic applications for other marine craft. Whether it be boats or sit-down versions of foiling Fliteboards and things like that. So we've got a lot of exciting things in the works, and we look forward to you guys, our customers, coming on this amazing journey with us over the next few years. I'm somebody that just absolutely loves water sports. I always have. It's always given me a fantastic escape and release. And I also love technology and sort of dreaming about the future. And I was one of those kids in the 70s and 80s wanting a flying car when I was older. Well, now I've got a flying surfboard, and I think it's probably a lot more fun than a flying car, and it combines all of my passions of technology and electronics, water sports, the ocean, nature, and it's got a good cause, you know, as well. We're developing technology that's eco-friendly and environmentally friendly, mission-free, noise, you know, very limited noise. No one else on the beach can hear me right now. No wake. So, you know, it's the start of a really, really exciting new adventure. And again, we thank you for coming with us on this amazing journey. It's going to be an amazing few years, and we look forward to seeing you all flying soon.